When your cutter and components have complex geometries that cannot be defined parametrically in ToolKit, you can instead create them using 2D shapes, sketches, or by importing 3D models. It is crucial to maintain precise representations of your cutters and components to ensure accurate material removal simulation and collision detection. In this video, I will demonstrate how to define cutters and holders using 2D shapes. For a cutter, I will choose to define a fillet milling cutter. For this, I will just define my end mill. You can choose any of these tools that will represent this tool. And instead of parameter data, I'm going to select Sketch 2D, and I'm going to define my fillet end mill using these primitive shapes over here. I'm also going to show and hide tool picture. I'm going to rotate my tool. And over here, you can see that this end mill is defined by 3 cylinders that you can see it over here. This field over here represents the base shape of this model. And you can individually click on each of these cylinders or shapes that you can find it also over here with main parameters and value defined. For my fillet, I'm going to remove these two. And for this one, I'm going to define one shape that you can do it above, below. You can also set mounting point on the top or the bottom. And you can also delete the shape. So I'm going to add a shape below. And that would be this inner fillet over here. I'll define my top diameter at 6. That's fine. I'm going to machine my radius 2 millimeters. Start angle and sweep angle I will leave as default. Bottom diameter I'll put on 1.5. And it's fine. For the cylinder, I'll keep my diameter on 6. While height, I'll just change it and put it to be like 10. Maybe even keep a little bit less than that. There we go. And over here, we can already see the final results in the tool viewer. And on top of this, I'm going to create also arbor that I'm going to define it so with a little bit smaller diameter. Let's go with 5 with a height of 20, or maybe let's go 15. And additionally, I will put another cylinder that goes with diameter 6 and maybe height of 25. There you go. Now, additionally, you can see that here we have a yellow area. This represents a cutting length. Also, it is represented over here. And we can change that. As you can see, this is defined as a 2D shape. And we can also click on the parameters page where the main parameters are still available from SolidCam inside the toolkit, and you can modify them. Modifying any of these will also modify actually the cutting point itself. This is my outside holder length for now. Additionally, I can define my coordinate system by clicking on this field, and I'm going to set mounting on the top. And for the main parameters, my cutting length would be from over here and maybe to here, which is 7 millimeters, and I'm going to put here at 7. Of course, you can put less if you want. This will be my, let's say, fillet R2. And on top of this, I'm going to also, in this video, demonstrate how to do also user-defined holders, or you can take any from the web drawing. And in this case, I'm going to use this one over here, which is HSK 63A, with these parameters. And for this, I'm going to just create in separate item. I'll just go to my holder. I'm going to drag and drop to another cutter component. I can also call it HSK 63A. You can put also more data in it. And instead of 3D model, I'll use also Sketch 2D. For a first primitive shape, I'm going to choose this one over here. I can now delete this shape at the bottom. And as you can see, for this shape, we actually have different parameters. So my bottom diameter over here, it will be 21. My top diameter is 27. And now over here, we can define our height or angle that will define, the final shape. And here we have auto calculate. And what we want to auto calculate is actually the height itself. So for the angle, I will choose 8.5. And there you go. I can also activate my tool picture so I can see the final shape, how it lays. On top of this, I'm going to add simple cylinder. This cylinder will be the same diameter, 27, but the height, it will be 13.5. Additionally, on this, I'm going to add another cylinder. This cylinder is height of 26 and a diameter, of course, 63. On top of this, we can also add shape. That will be this one over here. And my top diameter in this case, let's go over here like 48.6. We can, not the top, pardon. The bottom diameter, the top will be 45, or we will decide. But in this case, let's say the height of this is going to be automatically calculated. So I'm going to choose automatically calculate this height, while my angle will be exact 5.74. And my holder is fully defined. But this is not over, as over here, we mentioned that each of the components should have the coordinate system of the STL, which is over here. And this is wrong location, as I would like to be a gauge point over here. And I will have my joint where my cutter will be located. To do that, I will either select this component here or this component here and do right click, mounting on the top, or click over here, mounting at the bottom. Once done that, you can see the coordinate system of this STL, it's positioned correctly, and my joint is properly automatically defined. I can ensure that by going to the connection page, and I can see the right value has been here. Additionally, I can now just use my fillet radius 2. I can do a drag and drop, and I can additionally just place this in the correct position, or you can use the outside holder length and use your assembly.